They're certainly advancing, and they've made some significant advances. But at this point in time, the important town of Zawiya is not fully under their control. We were able to talk to a colonel as he was leaving the area and coming back to a safer place to get more information and then perhaps go back in. He talked about the situation inside that city. Now, the reason why the city is so important is because it is basically a very important supply route for the capital, Tripoli. And Jonathan, it's only about 30 to 35 kilometers outside of Tripoli, an important supply route, particularly for fuel. And we do know that in Tripoli, fuel is very scarce, a very important resource that Tripoli needs, and will have much more difficulty getting if they're able to cut off this road through Zawiya. Let you listen to what Colonel Ridwan Fayed said to us as he just exited Zawiya.
The rebels are controlling most of Zawiya. There are some snipers and some of the regime shelling from outside Zawiya, from the eastern part of Zawiya.
Now, we were told that they were able to close off a coastal road, another important road between Ras Aster and Zawiya. Again, supply routes are important these days. We were able also to talk to a Tripoli resident who had just fled Tripoli. They said they were extremely excited they got out. They said, thank God they were able to leave because things are, quote, very, very bad in Tripoli. They are not safe, and even food is scarce, according to this one resident. Jonathan?
Sarah, the battle for Tripoli is weeks away, even by the boast of the rebels, but Zawiya, that's a battleground now. How much do we know about what's going on inside that city, how its people are faring?
Here's what we're hearing. We hear that there are snipers positioned in the eastern part of the city. They are inside the city. They say some of these snipers are near the hospital and that they are shooting at troops that are the rebels that are in the streets. There are residents still there, although we saw quite a few residents leaving today. They kept saying everything is fine, but clearly the fighting is still happening there. We do know that the shelling is coming apparently from outside of the city, on the eastern portion of the city where Gaddafi troops are still clearly in control. However, the rebels say they're in control of the southernmost part of the city and gaining ground. But this is one of the situations we need to look at. One thing is clear, is that when the rebels make a significant gain, it usually involves NATO. NATO has some impact on it, and NATO has been active in this area in the past 48 hours. There have been strikes. They have hit a few significant, for example, an ammunition facility. They've hit some tanks. So what is very clear is that they do need NATO's help in order to gain ground. Whether or not they can hold ground is another thing. And so that's what we'll have to watch over the next few days. But we do have to say that the crew that's been in here for some time, CNN's been in this area for some time, they were here just a week ago, and they couldn't get quite anywhere near as far as we were able to get today because the fighting was back further away from Zawiya. So we do know that there have been significant gains. Whether or not they can hold them, we will have to wait and see, Jonathan.